Florida drops Game 1 to Queens at Harmon Stadium. Freshman Drew Buchanan blasted his first career homer, but the Ospreys couldn't climb back. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 77 degrees at 10 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
With the 9th pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select running back from Florida, Fred Taylor.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor. Busting through. Fred Taylor making the cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Listen, Fred Taylor is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest running backs to ever play in this game. He's the greatest running back to play here in Jacksonville.
Here's the handoff to Taylor, looking for some cutback. He finds some room. Look at Fred go. He's across the 30. Look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40. They won't stop at 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. 80 yards. Fred Taylor.
He had 6 1,200-yard seasons.
All right.
He also averaged 4.6 yards a carry, which is a high-end number.
Don't sleep on that.
Not at all.
Okay.
And the only running backs to have 6 1,200-yard seasons plus and 4.5 yards a carry or more are Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders,
Jim Brown.
And here's the handoff to Fred looking for cutback. He's got room right at the middle 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 and the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20. And pulled down at the 18-yard line by Jason David. He saved the touchdown. What a run by Fred.
You're legitimately argued like the most underrated player of all time. Like, would you put yourself in that category?
That's based on media standard. Talk to Ray Lewis. You talk to Ed Reed. Name anybody that was on defense. These coaches. Talk to Coach Dungy. Talk to Jeff Fisher. Coach Belichick. All these coaches that had the game plan for me, they knew what I presented on the field. They knew I was a problem. I'm sure they wouldn't say I was overrated.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Fred Taylor spent 11 years with the team, and today he signed a one-day contract so he could retire a Jaguar.
I guess the terms of the one-day deal is just having the opportunity to close out and do what I always wanted to do, and that's retire as a Jaguar.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and RJ Saunders.
All right, we've made it. Happy Friday, Good Friday for those who celebrate. I know you do, Tommy Mack. Hello and greetings to you, and welcome in to the Jaguars Today
Happy
studios.
Friday.
Yes.
It's great to be here.
It's always a good Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because Friday.
Yes.
When's the last time you worked on you know what? I work on Saturdays. Actually, I'd say January would be the last time I worked on a Saturday, but not this weekend. Tony Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the plan for the weekend for you? What's stretching out?
Just Easter.
Not going to hop in for set with dad bods or anything like that?
No.
All right.
Yeah, dad bods.
Easter's a big one.
That's right.
No doubt about it. Do you guys do a egg hunt at the residence?
We will. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're hosting Easter.
Okay, so
there'll be a lot
how many
of
people
kids.
are involved here? What are we talking?
There'll be like 35, 40.
Wow.
But everyone brings stuff like dishes and food.
That'd be a hell of a ham you got to get.
Exactly. But a lot of kids, so they'll do a scavenger hunt.
Going full pig.
Nice.
Yeah, it's always a good time. And dad bods the night before, Saturday night.
How about that?
Tomorrow night.
Where you at?
Ready. We're at the local in Neptune Beach.
All right.
Yeah. It's
Got a lot
at 8
happening.
o'clock. Yeah.
I'll be out at the Clay County Fair today.
Yeah, right.
Not much of a fair goer, I'll be honest with you. You know, I mean, I'm a man of the people, though. I'll get down with the corn dog eating contest today.
Okay. How about as a teenager to check out, the females? Would that be something you go to?
That's not necessarily fair adjacent. That's any time when you're 15 years old, bro. I mean, like, church is an opportunity.
7 p.m. on a Sunday was a good time to go to Mass back in the single days.
I had them all scoped out, man. and I could give you name and all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, today, if you're going to Clay County Fair, I don't know, honestly. I'm kind of getting thrown into it a little bit. I've done a little corn dog research.
Okay.
No, I'm not a big corn dog eater myself. I'm emceeing the contest.
Oh, right.
I'm not eating. I don't know if I've ever eaten a whole corn dog start to finish. I've had like a bite and been like, it's all right. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't say I've had enough of them to really, give an opinion. And when's the last time I've had one? I can't remember. Right. But it's all in the breading, right?
I would think there's a big part, and you got to get a decent dog. Too.
Well, yeah, the dog matter.
I mean, those are the two components: the corn and the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been eating a hot dog and been like, man, I wish I didn't have to deal with this bread and could just hold a stick, right? Like, that's never been the thought I had to go the corn dog route. But.
Although I say, when it comes to hot dogs, Beanie Weenies may be my favorite way to serve hot dogs,
Beanie
man.
Weenies.
Just hot dogs cut up in beans, man. That's it.
Right.
In a can of beans, eat them up.
Franks and beans.
Throw a little mustard in there, maybe a little, you know what's good we used to do in college? We used to throw some salsa in there. You just get a crock pot. Oh,
really?
You'd think, right? But salsa with the beans and the dogs, mustard, boom.
Okay.
That was it. We had a whole thing.
Hey, to each his own, right?
That's right.
Yeah, a little tomato, and I say tomato.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Tony, if you could enter a tomato eating contest, I know you love tomatoes as your favorite food.
Yes.
Tony's the tomato guy.
That's right.
Could you consume a large quantity of tomatoes?
Tomatoes, I'm willing to eat a tomato like an apple. It doesn't mean I want to eat 4 of them.
Okay, well, could you, if pressed into service, right, could you down like 8 good like fist-sized tomatoes in a sitting if you needed to?
Probably not.
No.
Maybe like as a teenager or a younger person at the same time, where it's like I ordered a large pizza and it's all for me.
Right.
Like when everyone went through that kind of phase, but I'm well past that phase. I'm the guy who goes to the buffet and gets 1 plate, and I'm
with
done.
you now. Bro, I feel like, you wouldn't tell by looking at me, but I feel like I don't.
One serving and done.
One serving and done is kind of the way to go.
Yeah. It depends. It depends what I'm eating.
All right, what could you eat the most of? What could you sit down? Tom McManus has got to save the world with his eating prowess.
All right, I'll tell you what.
It is funny that you bring it up, though. I made a BLT yesterday and put a whole tomato on one sandwich.
I'm not kidding with him with the tomatoes.
Back when I used to like tomatoes with some mayonnaise. You do eat, the nice little taste with it. But anyway, I don't eat tomatoes anymore. But I would eat a ton out of fish. Like, hey, you keep feeding me fish. I could eat that forever.
Yeah.
I can't eat a lot. I love.
Does fish fill you up? I don't know if fish.
That's why I got to eat.
You keep eating. You could probably inhale a lot of fish.
It's like when you go eat sushi. You're like, oh man, I'm full, and then a half hour later, you're like,
you ever go to a really good like outdoor fish fry?
Oh yeah,
man,
absolutely.
That is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And my father-in-law had a friend in the Navy who was a free diver. Those guys are nuts, man. I mean, they go down a couple 100 feet on a
breath, right?
And then that's what he was. And he had this just incredible like a display case for almost for valuables, but it was all seashells that he had picked up off the seafloor. It was, I mean, stuff.
That's cool.
You'd be like, oh my gosh, it should be in a museum. We had a fish fry at that dude's place once, and it was all stuff that like he had spearfished and all this. I'm like, hey man, you do the work. I will provide the appetite for that.
No doubt.
By the way, all right. According to Major League Eating, okay, they set the corn dog record based on a 3-minute contest. Like Coney Island hot dogs, 10 minutes, right? You get 10. Is it 10 or 12? I think it's 10.
I think it's 10.
10 minutes and you eat 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes. What's the Major League Eating record for corn dogs in 3 minutes, according to their website?
How many did they
eat in 3 minutes was the record. In 3 minutes.
I'm going to say, I kind of feel like you said it out there.
I may have.
So you want a shot at it, Tone?
What do you think, Tone?
I may have it wrong in my head, but I don't want to blurt out the number and you be like,
it's all right. Tell me what you think.
I was 58.
11.
That's crazy.
Right,
How
that's
big
what
were
I
the
said.
corn
How
dogs?
is that? Well,
are they fresh out of the fryer? Are they hot?
Standard corn dog. But, that's what I thought, too. That's insane. But you think about it, like, if you're doing 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes, you're doing 7 a minute. And that's a hot dog, though. Yeah. Those buns mush to nothing. A corn dog bun's not going to mush quite the same. Right? So, I don't know.
Cornmeal in there.
All that stuff, man. And you got to take it off the stick.
Yeah. By the way, when do they put the stick in? Like, after it's fully cooked?
You know what that sounds like to me?
I think you cook it. I don't know, though.
But I think how do you get the stick in the dog?
I think you stick the stick in there, and then you cook it like that.
Feels like a fake world record. I think there was the one guy who just wanted to hold one world eating record. He's like, no one's done corn dogs.
No one's done corn dogs. I'm going to make it up, right? Right? I don't know. But anyway, if you're eating dogs out at the Clay County Fair, if you're going to be out there at 5 o'clock today, stop by and say hello. We're supposed to be right off Main Street in that area. When you get out to the fair, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, we got a lot of Jaguar stuff from the week to get into and pick your brain on. Interesting comments from Mike DeRocco yesterday about Cole Van Lanen and the buzz being that it was an ACL tear for him. That was just kind of matter-of-factly passed along. I had not heard ACL attributed to Van Lanen. And anyway, and Mike did say that was the buzz. That was the feeling. But you know, it's interesting because he was questionable to play. He was out there trying to play against the Buffalo Bills. So, could be a partial. Could be, I don't know. I'm speculating 100%.
No,
I don't have the inside scoop on that.
Well, and think about it. It happened the last game of the regular season. It's only 3 months ago. You know what I mean? It's not that, it's not like it happened a long time ago. So you are concerned that, is he going to be ready for camp?
What's
Will
the
he
timetable?
participate in camp? But, listen, at the same time, guys, today's day and age, you heal up from that knee. You might not be ready when everybody wants you to be ready, but you'll get ready and you'll be ready to go.
All right. Also, the Bucs are making some noise on a front that could actually impact the Jags, maybe negatively, and I'll get into that, explain that as we go along today. A lot of ways you can get in on the program, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can hit us up on, stream us on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, or find us on the socials at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at R has no J. Da, 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 da. What is up, RJ?
Morning, fellas. What's the hat?
Are you trying to set a record for most fruit eaten at breakfast, or what do you got? A whole bag of fruit in there?
Yeah, I just got fruit.
Just got fruit. Yeah. It's a big a big old freezer baggie full of fruit. My man's going into. What do you got? Strawberries?
Strawberries, apples, kiwis.
Strawberries, apples, and kiwis. Not really a kiwi guy.
On occasion, but not a lot of kiwi.
My wife likes the kiwi. I'm not down with the kiwi.
What's your favorite fruit? Yeah,
that's a tough one, man. Artificially flavored cherry or artificially flavored sour apple, please. I don't know. I don't know, just like a straight delicious, red delicious apple.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yep.
If I'm making a smoothie, I like all the blueberries and all the stuff in there. Strawberries, blackberries, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. I'll eat a banana,
Banana's got to be perfectly ripe, though.
All of them do, to me. Opinion. Like, I don't want any mush, it's got to be.
It's not ripe enough, you know what I mean?
Well, it can't be green. Yeah, I'm not eating a green banana. So, all right, there you go.
Get your fruit on.
Our fruit intake is covered. All right, Jaguars today. Tom McManus going to weigh in on the stories of the week. And what do we got today? Oh, yes. 3 weeks from today is likely when the Jags will make their first pick because it'll be night 2 of the NFL draft. So we're asking you, is there a player that tops your wish list? Who do you covet at pick 56?
Okay.
And it's got to be a player that you think has a decent chance to be available. And that's it. So don't say Reuben Bain. He's not going to be there at 56. But anybody, the linebackers, the edge rushers, the defensive tackles, you name it, there's tons of ones to choose from. So hit us up at your responses to that. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Tom McManus in studio with us here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Something's coming on with the computer.
Are you receiving my signal?
Speak into the microphone, Squid Brain.
He says he's found the main controls to the power beam here.
1010XL.
Ever have one of those mornings when you're trying to piece together the night before? Yeah, we've all been there. Now imagine that morning turned into a comedy. Morning After Grace is on stage starting April 9th at the Alhambra Theater and Dining. And it's smart, funny, and totally relatable. A night out that's equal parts laughs and insight. Get your tickets at alhambrajax.com. Alhambra Theater and Dining. Great food, great laughs, and a show you won't forget.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most things are easy when you're motivated. The question is, what happens when you're not? That's where Awaken 180 was different for me, Sneaky Joe, Bowerly, Beamer, and everyone else I know. Get motivated at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Has any Major League Baseball player ever hit 2 grand slams in the same inning?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Fernando Tatis of the Cardinals hit 2 grand slams in the same inning in 1999. Both came off the same pitcher, Chan Ho Park of the Dodgers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, coming to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
If you or someone you know are having a special day soon, perhaps the birth of a baby or a big birthday for a senior citizen, Kuhn Flowers will send the perfect arrangement. JJ LaSelva here with 1010XL, and I've personally experienced the magic of a Kuhn Flowers delivery. Log on or call KuhnFlowers.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. You're mackin' with Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
Where are you guys on the I enjoy a good conspiracy spectrum? Like, I like them. I think, like, the world has gone head over heels with conspiracies in the last, I don't know, 5 years or so.
I'm about a 5.
About a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I like a good one. You know, there are some that I can get into. I do believe we went to the moon. I understand.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? But, like, the bigger, you know, like, there are forces at play kind of thing. There always are forces at play, right?
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of forces.
Some
of them are always going to be at play.
Some of them are at play. Now, sometimes things are coincidental as well. We don't know, right. You're never going to know the answer. So you could take this as me being conspiratorial, but I found it very interesting yesterday, as this is the week that the Jaguars bring their big guns in terms of the ownership.
Yep.
Shad Khan, Mark Lamping, the president, meeting with the elected officials of Orlando, the mayor and the city council and all these different people. And they're all coming together to celebrate what a great thing it's going to be to have Jacksonville Jaguar football in Orlando for a year. And we understand why.
Yep.
Right? We get it. We'd rather have them all be in Jacksonville. But all the stateside home games will be played at Camping World Stadium next year. And that's absolutely fine. And what we think is, we hope one of the benefits, guys, is that the Jags pick up some fans, right? Like, hey, they realize, they got a pretty good team right now.
Right.
This Trevor Lawrence guy has finally come into his own. We're getting them at a great point, right? I mean, who knows where they'll be next year? They might be the Super Bowl contender in the AFC next year, right?
True.
So we want to pick up some fans. We're going to make it as easy for our fans. They were talking about as helping facilitate as many as 10,000 a week, making the trip from Jacksonville down to Orlando, things like that. So part of that is you think, all right, Orlando fans, they go to a few games that kind of feel like, oh, this is our adopted team. They're not that far up the road. Let's get in while the getting's good, while Trevor Lawrence is doing well.
Yeah.
All that sounds fantastic. Then I see yesterday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have thought, you know what we'd like to do? We'd like to refurbish our stadium as well. Not build a new one.
Yeah.
We're going to go the path maybe of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we're going to put in over $1 billion, and we're going to make this facility up to date, state of the art, all this stuff. Where do the Bucs think would be a good idea to spend a season away from Raymond James? Camping World Stadium.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking of the timing of this, Tom. I mean, the thing with the Jags came together fairly quickly, right? I mean, they knew that they at one point thought maybe 2 seasons of games away from Jacksonville, right? And then they worked it out with the city. We're only going to lose 1 season. So the Bucs are thinking, okay, we can do something similar. We can renovate our stadium. We can go right up the road, and we can play in Camping World Stadium. How convenient the timing of this, right? Just as the Jacksonville Jaguars maybe gain their strongest foothold in the Orlando market ever, here come the Bucs thinking, wait, they used to be a Bucs town before the Jags came along. And maybe in many ways still are, but they're closer to Tampa. And so just as we're going to play our games here, who knows? We go to the playoffs again. I think we don't. If you had to vote, are the Jags doing the playoffs this year? I'd vote yes.
Yeah.
Now things can happen.
Strong potential, yes.
Strong potential, but I would put it at
I'd give it a yes.
I'd give it like 60% or higher. I think that'd be
a little higher.
That's right. Yeah. That's my floor, the 60%. So that's how I feel. I might be wrong. So they go to the playoffs. And then next year, maybe they're a playoff team again. Who knows? Maybe sometime in the next couple of years they go to the Super Bowl or on the brink. And just as you are having that experience at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, you're going to come back this gleaming new edifice in Jacksonville, Florida. And man, you know what we're going to have bringing with us? Some of those newly minted Jag fans coming up from Orlando. And then they go, well, wait a minute, we could do that, or we could just stay here and watch the Bucs play for a year in Orlando. And if it times up that way, I wonder if there isn't something pushing this timeline with Tampa, like, wait a minute, why are we letting them, not that they can really stop it, right? I mean, it was unanimous vote to allow Jacksonville to play there. The Bucs would have been looked at like little babies if they voted against it, but we're letting these guys come into our backyard and get an even stronger grip on some of these fans that may be on the fence. And maybe, you know what? We're losing Mike Evans. We're losing Levante David. Maybe we're going to have a little bit of a downturn.
Yeah.
And the Jags are on the rise. And how can we stop that? Instead of go follow them up to Jacksonville, stay right where you are and realize that when this season's over of watching Bucs football in Orlando, we're going to be closer to Orlando than Jacksonville is anyway, like we've always been. I don't know. I saw that yesterday. I'm like, maybe it's just they're
finally sticking it to Liam.
I feel it's not even that, right? Kidding. But I do feel like if you're an organization, you're fighting for every eyeball and you're fighting for every dollar.
Well, it is interesting. Raymond James Stadium, I just looked up the numbers on it. It was built in 96. Right. They did a kind of minor renovation between 26 and 2018, but they never closed anything down. They just kind of renovated the luxury areas. I think they added their billboard, like all those kind of things in the stadium, but they haven't had a major renovation since the stadium was built in 1996. Yep. And there is an energy in the league right now for a bunch of stadiums that were built at or just before that time. It's time to upgrade, right? Like, and it feels like there's a league-wide pressure for that kind of thing to be done, across the entire NFL.
Build new.
Right. Yep. And I'm not surprised that Tampa will be caught up in that as well. I would warn fans in Orlando who may be tuning in now because the Jags are coming next year. It's probably easier to get in and out of Jacksonville from Orlando than it is Tampa, even if it is geographically closer, right? Like, it's just an easier drive. to get in and out of Jacksonville than it is even Tampa, as close as it is. I've only done the trip down to Tampa a couple times. Both times I've done it, nightmare to get into that city. It is just a nightmare with the way that the roads are built. And it's probably, multiplied by, I had to go through Orlando to get there.
Yeah, and that part of that now, Orlando's cleaned up a lot. Like, you don't go through, it's not like 4 lanes of construction on I-4 all the time. They've finished a lot of the stuff.
Right. They had to.
Going through downtown. It took forever.
Yeah.
But it's finally done. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know what this is probably much ado about nothing, right? But it couldn't help but catch my eye.
Peculiar.
Right. Like,
it is. I mean, we just announced it, and we had to have known we were going to Orlando.
Just this week we announced it.
Like, literally just.
And I would understand it, like, if we were in the Tampa side of this and Tampa was like, I don't know, Orlando's ours.
Right.
And they kind of replant that faggot. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, from a Tampa perspective, I'd be like, yeah, totally.
But from my perspective, screw Tampa, because they ain't us.
Well,
right?
but
so I don't care
we're
what
on the
they
rise,
think.
and they're not. So maybe fans will see through that.
Maybe so.
Let's
maybe
hop
so.
on the Jag train.
I was about to say, that's the only chance to get any fans. Just be good.
It's the main
winners.
way to do it. But convenience plays a factor.
It
like
does.
if you are a guy who's if you live in Orlando with your family and you like the NFL, maybe you're lukewarm, maybe you're for all the Florida teams, you could drive a couple hours, maybe 3.5 round trip on a Sunday, to go up to Jacksonville, or you could sit your butt right here and go to Camping World Stadium and watch the other team. I don't care. I'll watch them.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of lazy people like myself.
I had a friend at one time who grew up in the Tampa area, and he was at a McDonald's or something, some fast food restaurant where they were doing an NFL like giveaway thing, and he had the choice of a Miami giveaway at the time. This is when he was a kid, Miami giveaway or a Bucks giveaway. And he chose the Bucks giveaway. And the guy that gave it to him, he's like, it's a bad choice, kid. Like, even at the time in Tampa, there was that kind of energy.
What year was this?
This
roughly?
was, late 80s, early 90s. Okay. Right? Like in the middle of one of those runs of Tampa just being miserably bad. Right? Like, but they've had that same kind of energy historically.
I don't know. It was very weird to me that they're like, we're going to play there too. We'd like to play there too. Don't forget about us, Orlando fans.
Yeah, just the timing's kind of strange.
That's what I thought, and trying to take a little bit of the shine off, like, the ownership of the Jaguars and getting in good buddy with the folks in Orlando. They're going to come up with ways to maybe bust people. You could absolutely see that, if there's interest, like, hey, let's get some game day bus service going. And those are potential customers that could buy tickets in Tampa if they chose to, So the Jags are going to court.
I'm assuming the NFL owners will vote on that next year.
Oh, whenever. Yeah, whenever it comes
have
up.
To vote on it.
At
like
some
they did
point, they'll have to. Right,
the
but
Jags.
like they voted on, if they wanted, and for all I know, maybe the timing doesn't work out, and maybe the Bucks spend a season in Orlando in 29 after we've already had a year here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, right.
But it just felt to me like
the announcement.
Like, oh, you're afraid now that the little brother is grown up and they're coming in to bully away your fan base and show them that there's a better way through the play of Trevor Lawrence as opposed to Baker Mayfield. And I get it. Look, I understand everything the Bucks have achieved. They've won a couple of Super Bowls, right? Yeah. They've been a better franchise in the last 30 years, a more successful one, but that doesn't mean that's where the future is necessarily.
We took their coach. They're still sore about it.
I wouldn't. I guarantee you they're, honestly, the media seemed like the most sore about it, but there are definitely some hardcore Bucks fans that took it very poorly. Yeah. There was some revisionist history, though, after the season where I saw a lot on social media of Bucks fans that were upset with the organization for not getting rid of Todd Bowles and keeping Liam Cohen, and instead of trying to just hire him as the offensive coordinator, keep him as the head coach. But too late now.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad. All right. NFL.com has the ideal top pair of players for the first 2 picks for every team in the National Football League.
All right.
I thought they did a pretty good job. So let's discuss that when we come back. If you want to get in on the conversation with Tom McManus, Tony Smith, RJ Saunders, or myself, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Jacksonville, you sports fans better be locked in with Wingstop for the Hoops Madness. The Final Four is here. The move is simple. 30 wings for $30. Lemon pepper, classic, or mix it up. Get your order in now and pre-order so it's hot and ready right at tip-off. Visit wingstop.com or hit the app and lock in that 30 for 30 deal while it lasts this weekend at Wingstop for the Madness. 30 boneless or classic wings with up to 3 flavors only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop. This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. Termites, chinch bugs, roaches. It's their time of year to shine. Preventative maintenance is a heck of a lot cheaper than treating an active infestation. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule your free estimate.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res this month. Get 20% off hard floor cleaning and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Zero Res.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars today. Happy Good Friday to all. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders holding it down here for the next couple of hours, or I guess the next 90 minutes or so. RJ, is Primetime back today, or do we get another midday edition of the Rick Ballou Show?
I'm going to say without looking at the schedule,
Yeah,
I'm going to say
yes.
Yes. XL Primetime is here.
You're guessing XL Primetime is here.
And they're back.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. All right.
Back in the saddle.
Good guess. I don't know. Something's coming up at noon. It won't be us.
Right.
We're leaving. You look very studious with those
my
glasses
gray.
on right now. Yeah.
You know, my Avery got me 5 pairs for Christmas.
Okay.
I have 3 still. I lost 2.
You lost them?
Yeah. I don't know how, but they're all different. Like one's gray, one's black, one's white, one's blue.
You have a strong prescription?
No, the readers.
Oh, just read, just
but
magnifiers.
I literally think this is my notes are all blurry if I don't.
What you got on there today? What?
A bunch of drafts. I thought we were going to get into the draft.
We will get into the draft. We're about to get into the draft.
I thought I'd flip to my draft.
I'd say, Tom, I'm telling you, you should hold that up in front of the camera real quick. And this is Tom. Well, that's one. That's one of many. But yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
He's grinding.
I just,
you're
you know,
an ink stained wretch.
Yeah,
is what
it's
you
funny.
are.
Like but I still write it on the paper. Like I have to have it on the paper.
Bro, I wanted to give Trent Osborne, our intrepid social media guy, some contact info on somebody the other day. What's the best way to do that? Probably text, right? Or take your copy your contact out of your phone or something like that. Nope. Had to sit in there. I said, okay, you got a pen? You ready? Okay. Here we go. I'm still an analog guy in a lot of ways. This is the way it goes. All right. NFL.com did a piece this week. Eric Edholm, who's their lead draft writer, on the ideal top 2 picks for every team. So let's get into it a little bit. First thing, as you scroll down from the top, they do each team in alphabetical order, and the Baltimore Ravens are first up, and they have at number 45 their second pick, Caleb Banks, the defensive lineman out of Florida, right? So that caught my eye. The Banks pick, let's see. I'll just read what they said. Ravens fans might be sick of seeing the same name here, but Vega Ione, a guard out of Penn State, would be an immediate upgrade at right guard, and they keep mocking him there. So guards may not be high in the positional value scale, but blah, 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 blah. So the Banks pick may be a bit too on the nose given the Ravens' willingness to take calculated draft risks. But if he checks out medically, Banks could give the front another pressure source, and yes, I considered an edge rusher, but the value and fit weren't there. How can a guy with a broken foot check out medically?
No.
I'm asking you a serious question. Does it mean do they look at the X-rays and say, here's the bone growth, the regrowth? I'm guessing, right? There's is everything on track? But I mean, is that a guarantee?
Where you cracked it to, and have you cracked it there before? Is it multiple times? You know,
he's had multiple foot injuries. So. I don't think it's the same exact break, though.
Yeah. No.
I don't think it is.
Well, a lot of times the 5th metatarsal breaks. That's the outside one, right?
I want to say
they all can break. I mean, they can all snap.
I'm going to sound like an idiot for guessing here, but for some reason I thought I heard like the 4th metatarsal.
The 4th metatarsal.
But I could be tricking myself into
and then it's how bad is the break? I mean, did it need surgery? Does it need surgery? That kind of stuff.
Your boy remembered something.
All right.
Banks suffered a fractured left foot, 4th metatarsal, the night before the combine workouts. How did he break it? You know what I mean? Like
bounding.
I don't know. Was he working out? Was he just walking? Did he take a funny step? Like how
step off a curb?
How injury prone is he?
His feet. I mean, I know just from my own, because I've had multiple, even since high school. I mean, I've had multiple injuries, both my feet. They just weren't built to carry the weight, because they had a very high arch, and after a while, they get worn out, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know what his injuries are, even on that break. Like, is it, like
is
a
it
hairline fracture?
Right.
Is
displaced?
Yeah, what is it?
We listen to way too many doctors on the radio. You've had some of these
funny,
injuries.
Yes. I've ripped the peroneus longus tendon, your flexor tendon.
Hey, now.
Yeah, I ripped it 90%. But yeah.
How's your peroneus? Longest.
It's long.
Good for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. But that he concerns me. I know when he's healthy, he can be a disruptor. But I don't know, man. If you don't have, it sounds so stupid. You don't have your feet. Like if your feet can't stay healthy, you can't play.
Right.
You can't play.
I mean, it ruined so many promising NBA careers. Big men get feet issues a lot of times. Sam Bowie had them. Bill Walton had them. Lots of guys have had them. And it doesn't mean you can't be a good player, but you're what might you have been otherwise. It's just we had Nick Baumgartner on. I think it was Nick who said to us, Tony, that he felt like he was the best defensive lineman in the class, or the best. 3 technique.
Yep.
If healthy.
Yep.
If healthy.
That's the big if, right? So 45. Are you so I'm going to get to the Jags, obviously, but how do you feel about Caleb Banks? From your standpoint, do you want to see this team take a chance on a guy that has tremendous home run upside, but maybe some negative injury downside?
I kind of feel like it's Mason Smith 2.0, a big, very physical, tremendous, athlete on the field, and when healthy, at least in college, can be a disruptive force. Banks is all of that and more, no doubt. At least in and he's playing SEC, so that's as close as you can get in college ball to the NFL, I would imagine. So, I would think it's too risky at 45. If you get him later,
so like 56 though for the Jags.
No. I don't know. I think that that's just a little risky, because again, and I say that not knowing the extent of the foot injury, right? I don't know the reports on him. I haven't heard, what it is, what's going on, what are the doctors saying, and all of that. So, but if there's still an issue, if that's still a flag, then no, I wouldn't. Yeah. That's too big of a risk.
He's a guy that I don't know how I'll feel about it tomorrow, but today I'm convincing myself pretty sincerely that, pull the trigger. Like today, that's kind of my vibe on it is, I'd be excited on a guy that I think could be a top 15 or 20 pick in this draft if he's still available at 56 because there is the injury concern. I think that risk is worth it to me today. Tomorrow, I may go back to the I don't know. Like I do fluctuate.
I'm kind of in the I don't know zone. I'm with I guess I'm in the zone of either trust the front office or you don't right now, right? And if the Jags do pull the trigger on him, it will be because they have done all their due diligence and they feel like they're getting the right value and all these different things. And they know the questions to ask themselves internally and to Caleb Banks and his representatives and to the medical people. So if they're comfortable with it, I think it's a case like if the last guy was here instead of Gladstone, that if you don't take him, people would be like, this idiot. And if you did take him, people would be like, this idiot. So, I think part of it is you just got to go in and trust what.
Oh, yeah. If they pick him, I'm not going to sit here and be it's a bad pick at all. But if I was the one choosing, that
understood.
And again, without knowing the full extent, but if there's issues there,
look,
that's
if they pick him, it might be a bad pick. We don't know.
Might be, yeah.
We just don't know the answer to that. All right,
could be a bad pick. Whoever's healthy. We don't know.
Look, last year their second pick was Caleb Bransell, who apparently is going to be healthy and good to go this year. So let's be happy about that, and hope he turns into a force for this team. But I mean, Travis Hunter got hurt. Wyatt Milam got hurt. They all got these guys didn't come in with a broken foot, so maybe it is worth taking a roll of the dice on a guy with the tremendous upside. We'll tell you who NFL.com actually placed with the Jags in terms of the ideal top 2 picks for every team. And, the ideal picks may be guys that go a lot earlier, but the ideal picks that are likely to still be available to you at picks 56 and 81, at least according to the folks over at NFL.com. We'll do that for the Jaguars when we return in the moment. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Get Florida Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
The Easter weekend series against 18th-ranked Ole Miss continues tonight and tomorrow night. Gators and Rebels on 1010 AM.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. Honda going off-road. They've got it all. 2-wheel, 4-wheel. What's happening, my man?
Man, they've got the Talon. They got the Talon R. They've got the Talon Live Valve. If you're looking to do some farm work, they've got the Pioneer 700, Pioneer 1000. Legendary Honda reliability. Super fun. Dirt bikes, of course, always amazing. More podium finishes than any other company. Can't go wrong there.
And families love it when they go off-road with Honda. Check them out. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at ViStar Ballpark. Join us tonight for fireworks and tomorrow at 6:35 for more fireworks and free Southpaw onesies to the first 2,000 fans through the main gate, courtesy of Miller Electric and Hyatt Regency Jacksonville Riverfront. Catch on the field and free face painting before the game on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day at 2:05. Tickets start at just $5.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trusted company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pickett here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Tom McManus, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
All right, NFL.com trying to put the pieces together for all the teams out there. 3 weeks from today is when the Jags' scheduled first pick will go down, and they should, if things don't change, they'll have 56, 81, 88, and 100 on that Friday night, 3 weeks from today, as NFL.com's going through their piece on who the ideal pair of selections would be with the first two picks. Gets a little tougher for a team like the Jags. Their second pick isn't until pick 81, Tony, pretty deep into round 3.
Yeah, I saw when they put this article together, they basically just mocked until they got to the second team's,
until you got
whatever
to the
pick. I think it was 106.
Okay.
It's how deep they had to go before.
Is that right?
I think it's Denver.
Denver's second pick is 106.
I believe that's correct, but I know he mocked until he got to that point, because when you brought up, when you brought up the Caleb Banks thing, I was like, I wonder how many teams that's their ideal pick. Right, so I just looked and it was like, oh, no. He just kind of mocked it.
He did it in a way. Once he was off the board at 45, it was like, okay, so now.
So even a bunch of the names that maybe we've talked about a bunch, I was trying to find where they were, even on this list. They're not necessarily on the list, right? Because they may be mocked somewhere for them, but they weren't mocked as the first or second pick by that team.
Right.
So you don't know where that name is just into the ether, right? Like you just don't know where exactly it landed in that mock draft.
All right, well, here's what they did for the Jacksonville Jaguars based on what was available. Pick 56. Tommy, give me a position. Give me several positions that pick 56 should come from, one of these spots. Cover all the positions you think that pick should come from. Like, it's not going to be a quarterback, obviously, right?
Well, I wasn't thinking offensive tackle, but now I am.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah.
All right.
Defensive tackle.
Okay.
Tight end.
Tight end.
Maybe.
Okay. What about edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Edge.
Edge.
Yeah.
Corner.
Yeah.
Possibly, right? I mean, these are, and who knows? Maybe they just get a great value at some other spot. But I thought they did a decent job. They had Derek Moore, the edge rusher out of Michigan, at pick 56 to the Jags. And this is what they had to say. I thought, this is NFL.com, I thought upgrading the defensive front should take priority. This is Eric Edholm over there. And that it did. Moore fell right into the Jags' lap late in round 2, giving them a third rush option alongside Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. Although Moore isn't an elite athlete, his power rush would play in Jacksonville.
But what does that mean?
What does that mean? Why would it play in Jacksonville? I mean, will his power rush play in the NFL? Like, I mean,
we have power rushers.
We do have power. As you're saying, we're just trying to go down the line and get more power rushers, or
we need more guys that get pressure without sacks. That's what we need.
Look, these guys have to say something on an almost daily basis about every NFL team, so you can forgive them a little bit of this stuff. But I just, he's not an elite athlete, but it's okay because he's going to Jacksonville.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I read it. Like, oh, don't worry, it's his power rush will be fine there.
By the way, just looking through the list, the 3 players that on the mock would have gone right in front of the Jags, wound up being Keelan Rutledge right before him, Elijah Surratt 2 picks before him, and Caleb Tiernan before that. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker, went 47 to the Colts.
He did go to the Colts. So we'll get to the other AFC South teams. The second selection that they gave the Jags was a guy who's being connected to them a little bit more frequently in some of the mocks I've seen out there. Chris McClellan, defensive tackle out of Missouri, right? He says McClellan addresses the need inside, giving the Jaguars some reinforcements. After 3 free agents on the defensive line left, he can play over the center or guard and is a sneaky good interior rusher. All that's fine. It's just naming the 3 defensive linemen that left the Jaguars. Who are they? Who can you name them? Can you name the guys who are not back? Who are defensive linemen?
They're all back.
Ogba's not back. He was on a 1 year. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, yes, some defense. Ogba wasn't even active at the end of the year. Like,
he didn't produce.
Smoot was one of them, right? And Austin Johnson, who they could probably sign back the day after the draft if they go down that path. So it's not like they're like, oh my gosh. How are we going to fill in for Devon Hamilton and Armstead and Hines Allen, right? They lost guys who weren't giving you a ton.
I like that Lee Hunter guy from Texas. Tech. He's a beast.
Is he feels like more of a nose tackle.
They say he can play both. He ran like a 5 flat at 300 whatever pounds, 320, 330, I think. I mean, he's a big.
Had him going 48th overall to the Falcons here. Let's see what they said about him. They could use more bulk up front along with a true nose tackle, and that's what Hunter gives you. See, that's why I hear more of with him than anything. Do you think this team needs to invest in a nose tackle like Devon Hamilton? Are we looking to upgrade? Are we, looking at the long term for Devon Hamilton? I mean, obviously you want to get better at any position you can get better at.
Well, I think Devon could play 3 if you needed him to, like the 3 technique over the guard. And that's what he was when he came in. He's been forced into that nose tackle spot. And last year he had a great year. But to draft somebody that may be able to play both as well or just be a bigger presence inside, yeah, maybe.
Devon will play at 29 years old this year. It's the final year of his deal. So I mean, again, maybe they want to re-sign it, but would you be better off having, run-stuffing defensive tackle? I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying when you go through the list of high-impact, high-leverage positions, it ain't quarterback, it ain't left tackle, it's not corner, it's not these things. Would they be better off maybe finding a potential new nose tackle, still have Devon for a year,
right?
Because he's probably not going to be super cheap. He signed I think he signed a 3-year, like $35 million deal. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, right.
So he got about $12 million a year then. If you're going to sign him again, he's going to want more than that. Is Devon Hamilton worth investing when you've got Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, all these other guys we've been talking
Good
about?
Call. He might just be, priced out. If he has another good year, he'll definitely have a market You know what I mean? I mean,
Sure.
he's not that old. 30's not old.
No.
You know what I mean? And if he has another good year like he did this past season.
I just wonder economically with all of the
agreed.
The big deals that they're going to have to be giving out. And yes, you have him for one more year, but we're talking about Anton Harrison. Maybe do you want to get him signed to an extension? He's got this year and next year under contract because of the 5th-year option.
Yep,
so
good move.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of I just think it's kind of interesting when I see nose tackles, I guess, projected to the Jags. The other teams, let me take a quick peek here. Tony mentioned Jacob Rodriguez going to the Colts. They had him taking Rodriguez at pick 47. Their next pick then is pick 78. They don't have a first-rounder, obviously. And they took Antonio Williams, who's a wide receiver out of Clemson, with that selection. Houston, they had taken Caden McDonald, defensive tackle out of Ohio State, and linebacker C.J. Allen out of Georgia. They've got picks 28 and 38, so they're going to have 2 off the board before we
add
even
to that defense even more. Great,
right? Before we even sniff one. And then for the Titans, who have 4 and 35, they got him taking Jeremiah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame, obviously, and Chase Basantis, a guard from Texas A&M. So I don't know. I don't know about you. I'd rather. I feel like Love is more of a sure thing, even though it's not a quote premium position. I would rather see the Titans try to guess which edge rusher is going to turn out to be the best one, because I think that probably there's several that are up there that are not going to live up to it. I think Jeremiah Love will be a really good player.
Oh, absolutely.
And where where you can debate, is it worth taking a running back who maybe is only a one contract kind of guy potentially? That may impact their long-term strategy, but in the short term, for the next 4 to 5 years, I don't want to face Jeremiah Love twice a year. I just don't.
Right.
I'm not saying, you're going to face somebody. Yeah, sure you do.
Right.
But if I had my choice.
If you had your choice, you'd rather him not be in the division.
I'd rather take a chance on Reuben Bain or any of these other edge rushers there, because I don't think all of them are going to pan out just based on the odds.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, there's a lot of truth. If I'm them, I mean, they got Pollard, but, I mean, if you can get Love, I'd go for it. I mean, you got your QB.
Oh, they signed Michael Carter yesterday, so now they got crazy depth there with Tajay Spears in the mix as well.
That's
so
right.
Would you guys be happy with Derek Moore, Chris McClellan right now?
I would be.
Yeah, he had like 17 tackles for loss last year. He's got a real good first step, and they say he's very physical. So that, to me, that at least from that, hearing that, you're like, yeah, that's the kind of – I don't want to – when I hear power, like –
you want moves.
Because power doesn't always, unless you're gigantic.
They're all powerful.
Everyone's powerful. Every guard you go against,
they're not all. You're not all Aaron Donald, who has freakish power against any size player.
Right.
Let's see. Here we go for McClellan. He has some of the biggest hands in the draft class. Is that okay?
Depends who you're talking to.
At his good reactive quickness, prize open rush edges with combative hands, inconsistent, though, in punching, pressing, and controlling the block, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this is a guy that maybe you get in the third round, and everybody that you're going to get in the third round has some degree of flaws, to be sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't hate it, though. I like the direction that they were looking. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Tony Smith will take us around the National Football League as we get into hour number 2. You're listening to Jaguars Today. We'll get on what you're talking about, Tom. Maybe you would not have thought offensive tackle is a big need for this team. Maybe it is more of one than we think, right? At least from the outside looking in. We'll discuss that more in hour 2 of Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. On the ride home, jump in and join the guys who know Jags football and Jacksonville life inside and out.
Hey, you want to try?
Frank Franchi and Hayes Carline, The Franchi Show.
You got yourself a sweet ride now, Chuck.
Keeping afternoons fun, smart, and local.
Keep driving!
On 1010XL.
Jacksonville, get ready. April 6th, the Florida Theater presents Leonid and Friends. This 11-piece band brings the sound of Chicago to life. Horns, vocals, all the energy. Your favorites from Chicago. Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, and more. One night only, April 6th. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
The Jacksonville Icemen are in town for 3 games, starting Thursday for $3 beer and wine night, plus Paint the Ice. Be part of Paint the Ice post-game and honor a loved one in a powerful way. Your $5 donation helps support cancer-related organizations right here in our community. Then join us again on Friday and Saturday as the Icemen continue to freeze the Florida Everblades. All games start at 7 p.m. Tickets available on Ticketmaster or by visiting jacksiceman.com.
Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
The Clay County Fair is celebrating 40 years of rides, music, food, and family fun. April 2nd through the 12th. It's your main man, E.T., and I want to see you there with 1010XL. Get the details at claycountyfair.org. The Clay County Fair, 40 years of fun.
Buying a diamond should be fun, not stressful. But at some stores, the pressure can be intense, with pushy salespeople and mandatory deposits. But at Beard's Diamonds, owner John Lupo says that's not cool.
They wanted to sell them only what they had, wanted a deposit right then and there. They did not want them to shop, and we don't do business that way. It's pretty sad that you don't want the consumer to go shopping. That must mean that they're not confident in their pricing.
It's different at Beard's.
We encourage people to shop. We want you to go shopping, to know that you're getting a better deal and a better education at Beard's. We will do anything we can to make you happy without putting deposits down.
No deposits, no commission sales, no pressure, no pricing games, no corporate rule books. John's son Ben sums it up nicely. At Beard's, it's laid back and relationship driven.
There's plenty of options out there, but we're looking to go the extra mile when people want to patronize us, and it brings us great pleasure to see two lives be connected together.
Beard's Diamonds, locally owned with over 4 decades of doing business the right way. At St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update. The Gators finished their 11th practice as they prepare for next week's Orange and Blue game, with John Summerall emphasizing physicality through game clips. Jag VP Tony Vaselli shared his thoughts on the team playing in Orlando in 2027.
We think a lot of our fans will come down from Jacksonville. We think we have a ton of fans in Orlando.
That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 79 degrees at 11:03. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL,
All right, and here on 1010XL, our question of the day is simply asking you with basically 3 weeks until the Jags actually have a pick, 3 weeks to the day, unless they make a big trade-up, which nobody's going to put that past them. But
that's right.
I will say this. I don't think the Jags are doing anything on that Thursday night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't think they're creeping into the first?
No. I'm saying in terms of a draft watch party, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
There was a story a few years ago when KC hosted the draft that ownership did not want them to trade out of the first round because they wanted the fans to be able to not sit there the whole round and then they have something to look forward to, which is understandable to some degree, but you're letting not important things creep into the team building process a little bit right there. But I think that would you be more, less, or equally surprised if the Jaguars were to trade into the first round compared to the move they made last year to get Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all, to be honest with you. I mean, they showed the moves they're willing to make, not only Travis Hunter, but also with Jacoby. Good call on, pulling that together, having those 2 picks for him. So,
what about you, Tone? Yeah. More or less about the same amount of surprise if they compared to how you felt when you found out they were making the move to get Travis Hunter?
More or less surprised about what?
If they were to trade from 56 into the first round.
About the same.
Yeah, me too. About the same. I don't think they're going to do it. But I didn't think they would do that move last year either. And so I'm not saying they can't. Obviously, they could. Yeah. But 56 to 32 is a big,
it's a big jump.
Big jump, man. It's a big jump for that. And it's also a big jump to sell your fan base when you move back, right? We had this pick at here. Why didn't you take this guy? Now, if you may end up getting a guy, and that's part of it. You may end up getting a guy at 31 that's as good as the guy at 56 or vice versa.
Right.
Which is a reason I don't know if I see them, that I don't think that standout guy, I don't think Caleb Banks with his second broken foot is worth making that kind of a risk. It's one thing if he falls to you at 56 or maybe if he falls to 50 and you got to make that, here's a 5th rounder to bump it up. But I'm not spending multiple of what you have as premium picks to go up there and get into the first round.
Well, the question is, too, is there a prospect on their board that's worthy of going up?
Got to have it, right?
You're not going to get – there's only so high you can get, right? Unless you're giving up, some of your best players on a team.
Sure.
If the other team wants them.
Right. Could they get up there? Yes. They have the capital to get up there. Is that the best move for this team? That you got to keep that pipeline of affordable talent going, you know what I mean, and hit on some of those guys, because you're not going to hit on all of them. Chances are maybe they hit on 2. You hope they hit on 3 of those first 4 picks,
doubt.
But if you trade a couple and now you only have 2, you better hit both, that kind of thing.
For sure.
Anyway, 3 weeks and all the wondering will be over. In the meantime, let's take a look around the NFL.
Now, gems around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Former Buffalo first-round pick corner Kaiir Elam, who has started just 19 of 43 games played in his first 4 seasons, has been signed by Kansas City. Cornerback Stephon Gilmore has announced his retirement from the NFL after a 13-year career. He last played in 2024 with Minnesota. Gilmore was a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro selection, a member of the Patriots' 2018 Super Bowl championship team, and was the AP's Defensive Player of the Year winner in 2019 when he led the league in interceptions with 6 and passes defense with 20 that season, allowing a 44.1 passer rating that year.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Tone. I saw over at SI today, the heavy lifting of free agency is done. Obviously, there's still a few decent players out there, but nobody is going to reset the market as far as that goes. But we did see recently a contract or 2 given out that reset their position in the market. Guys just rewarding their players with an extension. Let's just rip through this, see if you guys can tell me who the current highest paid player is at each position in the National Football League. This is according to Sports Illustrated. Who's the highest paid quarterback?
Is it per season?
Per season average. Got Dak. Who do you think? Think you agree? You should.
Love?
You should.
Oh.
You should agree.
Dak.
Dak, yes. Nobody, he's getting 60 a year. Nobody else is getting over 55 a year. So he leveraged at the right time.
Yeah.
Worked
I'll
out
say.
in his favor. But, you figure probably in the next go-round, somebody's going to pass Dak Prescott at some point with the salary cap continuing to rise. Who's the highest paid running back in the NFL?
Saquon.
Stick with Tony.
Saquon.
It's Saquon, $20.6 million a year. Who's the highest paid wide receiver?
Just got done, Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
What's the number?
41.
42.1.
So close.
Pretty good. Who's the highest paid tight end in the NFL?
Kittle.
Kelsey.
Just stuck with Tony again. Kittle. Tony's good at this game. $19.1 million a year. He doesn't have it up. Who's the highest paid offensive tackle in football?
Trent Williams.
These get a little tougher.
Yeah, that's a tough
guys
one.
get dealt. They get new deals.
Trent.
Not Trent. That's a good guess, though.
Panay Sewell.
Laramie Tunsil.
That is tricky.
Right, because he got flipped to the Commanders, and then they gave him a new deal, $30.1 million per year for Laramie Tunsil.
Wow.
How are we feeling about the Cole Van Lanen deal right now? By the way,
Well, I mean, I'm okay with the deal. I mean, it stinks that the injury happened, but look, you can come back from a knee. We've seen it before. It's be different. I'd be more concerned if it was like an Achilles or something like that, to be honest, or a hip or something like that.
it's just incredibly poor timing, and you can't help that a guy got hurt, but they did decide to reward him quickly. I mean, this team makes up their mind quickly now. Jacoby Myers came in. We saw the impact he made.
Yep.
It's going to be a fit. We don't have to wait till the end of the season. Boom, right now. Let's get it done. Cole Van Lanen, got your chance to start. You've been on our radar. You performed better than our last guy. We know where the market's headed. Let's get you in, for 17 a year for the next 3 years?
Right.
Made sense.
It made sense at the time, and it still may. Who's the highest paid guard in football? This gets tough now.
Tyler Smith.
Good guess. Tyler Smith.
Good one. Yeah.
$24 million a year at guard. Who's the highest paid center?
Oh, Linderbaum.
Linderbaum. Just got it. 27 per year. Edge rusher.
Micah.
Hey, Tommy Mack.
Yeah, there you go.
Finally.
Buddy.
What do you got?
46?
46 and a half. Very good. 46 and a half. Highest paid defensive tackle in football. Chris Jones. 31.75. Linebacker.
Fred Warner.
21 million a year. A little lower, honestly. You saw that list yesterday. We were looking at, was it NFL.com, Tone? Best free agent contracts given out. Devin Lloyd, number 2 on the list, because how affordable it was.
Yeah, right.
3 years, 45.
I know.
And then there was a report that it was actually 14 a year instead of 15 a year. And then Devin Lloyd said the Jags offered him. What do they? Don't you want to know how close that came? That's got to Jags draft luncheon is next week, Tony.
Yes,
it's got to be asked next week. How did you guys think it was close? That how competitive were you on Devin Lloyd? How close?
What'd you offer him?
I'd like to know. Right, that I'm trying to come up with a way that I don't get shut down immediately. Like, give me the numbers.
Yeah, right.
How competitive were you? Were you within $2 million a year? $3 million a year? Who's the highest paid corner in the NFL?
Sauce. Did he redo the deal with the Colts?
Nope, it's Trent McDuffie.
Yeah,
because he just got guys who just get dealt and get new deals. He's getting 31 a year. Who's the highest paid safety in the NFL?
Kyle Hamilton.
Yep, 25. Highest paid kicker in the NFL.
Fairburn just got his deal done.
He did at 6.5. Would you sign Cam Little? What would you sign Cam Little to at the end of this season? Right now, because he's not eligible for an extension until the end of the season. You see, the numbers are going up. Like Aubrey says, he wants 10.
10, right?
And the Cowboys are like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, why 10 when everybody in the league is making 6.5 or less?
Yeah.
You may be the best. Highest paid punter. Good luck. If you get this one, you're cheating.
No idea.
Tommy Townsend.
Tommy. Jordan Stout.
Right, him.
Yeah, him. Team.
That guy.
Team.
Jets.
Giants. Very good. Say right building. You had the right building. That was very good.
So close.
He gets $4.1 million per season, coming off an all-pro campaign. Averaged 50.1 yards per punt, 24 inside the 20. That's pretty good number. We love our guys here, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Logan Cook.
Yep.
I mean, but if you could have punter and kicker for the Jags, as good as they are, locked up for, let's say, 11, Yeah. 4 would put you right at the top of the punter market, and 7 would top the kicker market. I'd sign up for that.
What is the all-pro long snapper warrant?
I don't know because they did not put
He's
that in.
the best.
He is the best, but it is such a specialized skill. You know, how many long snaps do you get a game? Maybe 10.
Well, he's a short snapper too, isn't he? Or no?
For the Jags?
Yeah, Ross.
How's he?
What
What
like
do you mean
the
a short
extra
snapper?
point? Well, you said long snapper.
Well, the long snapper
Same
to me,
thing,
yeah,
Okay.
long snapper covers everything.
All of it. Yeah.
Any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
10 snaps a game. 160 snaps a year, something like that.
He makes a lot of tackles, though.
He does make a lot of tackles. He's a good player. He's the best at what he does. So say his compatriots around the league. But
That's right.
just thought it was interesting, man, to see where some of these are when you look back and you go back. You can go back like 15 years ago in free agency and quarterbacks getting, less than safeties are getting now and things like that.
I remember Leon's deal. He got a massive deal. He was the highest paid, at least lineman, when we signed him as a free agent in '96.
What was that?
I think the total was like $16 million. That was the total package, and everybody was like, "Holy cow, that's unbelievable!"
Yeah.
It was just a massive deal at the time.
Just looking it up, Ross Matisic had 144 snaps last year.
All right.
All on special.
That was in the ball. We were in the ballpark on that. Yeah. 5 years, $17 million.
17,
for Circe.
Sorry, Circe.
Spending all the cigars.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to spend it on. So
that was quite the contract back then.
I absolutely right, and you can only imagine
it's 10 times more.
Will we see?
10 times.
Will we see in the next decade a player making $100 million a year?
I think so.
I don't know.
Dak's at 60.
He's at 60. 60 to 100 is still
the next QBs are good. They get up to. I bet you they get to 70.
But several guys have signed since Dak, and they haven't gotten 60. So I think there's got to be, unless now.
You think Mahomes going to want more than Dak when his time?
He didn't when he signed a 10-year deal,
right.
and took. But I don't know. Is Mahomes just going to go now? You got to pay me $100 million a year, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Mahomes probably wants a few more rings, right? And if you give me 100, can't have this guy or that
but
guy.
But the cap's got to keep going up for that day.
Will it go up to that degree, though? I don't know.
I mean, okay, go back 10 years and what was the cap? And then.
All right, so the cap right now is about 300, right?
Right.
Roughly.
What was it in 2015?
I'm not sure.
Tony's going to find out.
But it's about 300 now.
What do you type per minute, man? You can really type.
Dak is making 60,
right?
And he's the highest, so he's making about 1/5 of the cap. So if that ratio were to hold, the cap would have to go to $500 million.
Yeah, the 2015 salary cap was 143.
So it doubled.
More than doubled. Yeah, it may continue to go that way. Who knows?
Double, but
right. Well, they're getting all these streaming services bidding on games and all that, and trying. That's why they put the early opt-outs in these TV contracts because they've got the best TV product there possibly is.
So to answer your question, maybe not 100.
I know 100's high.
It is
100's
but
high.
Look at we were just talking about Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan. These guys made over $300 million in their career. Right? But
hey, look, Kirk Cousins had the best of anybody, man. He's gonna make $20 million. He might not play a snap this year. Honestly, if Mendoza looks good this offseason, are they going to sit him? All right, let's take a break here. More on the Jags front as we continue along Jaguars today on this Good Friday on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
I want rustlers, cutthroats, bounty hunters, desperados, nitwits, halfwits, dimwits, bushwhackers, hornswagglers, horse thieves, train robbers, bank robbers, ass-kickers. I want
1010XL.
That's it. He's not bluffing. Consider it done.
Yo, E.T. here. And you know that on-the-field preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at EncoreDocs.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit dynamicdrivesdesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
Most people think we only know sports around here, but they're wrong. Frank Frangie here. I also know who to turn to when I need a floral arrangement, and that's Kuhn Flowers. When you need to send that someone something special, rely on Kuhn Flowers, online at kuhnflowers.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA? Who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Get ready for spring turkey season at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Find shotguns trusted in the field from Browning, Beretta, and Benelli. Plus, the newest bows are ready to test shoot from Hoyt and Matthews. For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has helped Northeast Florida hunters gear up with confidence. Stop by Green Acres today at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard, or shop online anytime at greenacresporting.com.
Alert! Alert! Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, 1010XL, rolling until about noon with Jaguars today. XL prime time to follow, and then on into the afternoon Easter weekend. I hope everybody has their plans all squared away. Hope you have a great Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Whether you celebrate or not.
Yeah,
hope
absolutely.
You have a great weekend regardless.
No doubt.
All right, so again, I want to circle back on the Cole Van Lannon thing, which I think is pretty important. Right?
I do too.
And we've been penciling him in as, okay, he couldn't play. He almost played in the Buffalo game, so it's not going to be that long, right? I mean, that was the impression I had, that if you could have at least considered, if you went out there on the field to test it in pregame.
Right. you're at least trying to see what it's like.
Right. So there was a chance you could have played that
so
day.
If that's the case, which it is, right? Like they tried them out. They tried it out before the game. You can't do that on a torn ACL.
You wouldn't think, at least not on a fully torn ACL.
Not on a fully.
And that's the thing too. ACL injury, probably, is
even surgery that doesn't. All it says is it needed surgery.
Right.
It doesn't say what the injury was.
Right. I saw the injury. I think a lot of us did because I was in the south end zone, and it buckled. It went dinky. You're like, oh no, and then he limped right away, and then you're like, oh no, he hurt his knee, and you could tell that doesn't mean anything. That could be meniscus. You know what I mean? That could be where your tibia and your
fibula? femur
crash into each other.
Yep.
Like you hyperextend your knee, and that's a lot of times when you tear that ACL, that crash, you get bone bruises on either end. It's very painful. You rip the meniscus, that can be painful. So. But yeah, I mean, you got it because look, let's just say. I don't know. I only know ACL and how long it took me to rehab. You know what I mean? So if it's an ACL, he's not going to most likely be ready for the start of the regular season. He could be. It's not saying it's undoable, but mentally,
I don't know if
physically,
you can count on it.
Right. So that makes me think like, okay, I know a lot of people, well, that's why we have Walker Little. So, okay, but he beat out Walker Little. Like, nothing against Walker, but we're going to roll with that again.
He beat out Walker Little to the degree that they said, we've seen enough. Here's a contract extension.
Contract, right. And remember, he was hurt all through camp, Cole was. Do you remember? He barely played in camp. And if he had a chance, because he was always listed as a left tackle, if he had a chance, he might have won that job. I don't know. You can't say one way or the other. But so that makes me think, look, it's not that he's not going to come back and play for you. It's when will he be ready? And you can optimize, he'll be ready for start of regular. Well, maybe physically, but then other things factor in. Like, is it out of his mind? Like, does he forget about the injury? Does he forget about
Is he injury
prone? It takes
prone?
time. Right. Does he have a setback? Who knows? We just don't know. And we don't know the extent of the injury.
Let me ask you this. Let's say that Cole Van, and this is pure speculation, okay? I'm not reporting any of this, but let's say that Cole Van Landen is not ready to go at the beginning of training camp, and if he had surgery, and if it is, as Mike DeRocco said, the buzz is it was an ACL, something ACL related, very likely he's not ready at the start of training camp, so let's say he's not, and maybe not be ready for a month into training camp, pretty deep into training camp. Is Anton Harrison your opening day left tackle?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yeah, or are you going to give Wyatt Milam a shot at it,
or maybe give Milam a shot at right tackle?
At right tackle, correct. You may have to.
So where do you put now offensive tackle specifically on the Jaguars' needs?
I mean, all right. The worst case, he's not ready. It's going to take him.
Worst case, he's maybe cleared at let's say the beginning of the season. Let's just, I don't know what the,
you don't know, you can't count on
the worst case is. The worst case is he has a setback and needs another surgery and he has an infection.
Forget worst case. Let's just say you can't count on him being ready.
Okay.
Let's just say, make that a flat statement. I think it's top 1 or 2 then.
It becomes a lot more important.
You got to protect Trev. It's got to be number 1. You thought you had his protector in Cole. You still do. But now that he's not going to be ready, do you want to, I don't know, maybe you feel good about what? Maybe you do move Anton. Maybe there are things where you don't have to press in the draft and find, somebody at 56 or 81 or 88, whatever in that range. You know what I mean?
But you still need somebody at right tackle, So,
right.
Maybe it is Milam, or maybe they're counting on Milam to press Patrick McCary at right guard.
Maybe it's McCary.
Maybe it is McCary.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look, could they get by with what they have for a month? Sure. I think
they could, yeah.
But then you're setting yourself up to where one more injury
right.
could really leave you in a pretty bad situation.
Yeah, and why not get a young prospect that you like?
Who you're probably going to need anyway, right? Like
at some point.
Because, all right, if Cole Van Landen didn't suffer the injury, the likelihood of Walker Little being traded, I think, would be significantly higher, right? Mm-hmm. Because they moved past him as a starter. He may be looked at as a starting option for another team. You could save some money, ship him off. In that scenario, you still need a swing tackle, right? And maybe you could get by with McCary. Maybe he'd be the next man up, but you need to be developing a swing tackle. So in this scenario, maybe, all right, Walker Little's here this year, but he's not going to be here next year. Cole Van Lanen signed a 3-year deal. He didn't sign a 5-year deal.
Right.
So if his first season in that deal is impacted by injury, you hope he's going to be good for those next two. I'm with you, Tom. I think it moves it significantly up the board. Now, it doesn't move in the Jaguars' mind because they've known and they know more about all this than we have all along.
Right.
So,
well, let me throw this scenario at you. So if you had to run it back on the D line with our front four that we had last year,
okay,
Eric, Devon, and the two edges, right?
Yeah,
okay, or you had to run it back with Walker Little as your left tackle, Ezra, Hainsey, whoever's right guard, and then Anton. Which like, you're not going to add to either one. Which one would you be more comfortable feeling like they'll be okay without adding?
I would feel more comfortable with the O-line for this reason.
Okay.
Because I've got guys already in-house that can compete to improve that group. Even the group you said, even if Cole Van Lanen's out of the mix initially, and you got Walker Little, well, maybe Milam steps up and earns one of those jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe we've got other guys here, I think, that could potentially push. I don't think there's anybody behind the front four on defense that is going to push any of them out of a starting job. And they were the number one run defense in the league last year.
Right.
Now, granted, they're going to need more pass rush regardless. So I would feel better because I think you got one or two guys that could actually create a competitive environment to improve that offensive line. I don't think you have that on the defensive line.
Milam, Monheim, Little, McCary give them so much flexibility, right? With just where everyone can kind of play on their offensive line. And on defense, look, they're if you're just talking about the front end, how talented is the front end of those groups, I do think Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker put it way ahead of the offensive line. Right? Like, just in how talented I think those two guys are compared to the guys that you have playing offensive line. But looking at the groups as a whole, I do think there's not a whole lot of difference on the offensive line between 1 and 8, right? With the guys that they currently have in the group. Like, Anton may be the best of their offensive linemen, but he's not so much better than even Monheim or Milam. Necessarily. We don't know
about that.
Right. We know that Trayvon Walker is way better than anything on the bench.
Well, that's kind of like, so if I had to add between the two, I would want to add to the O-line. Somebody that's going to come in and maybe be my starting left tackle. Okay. That's what I would do, because I feel comfortable with my front four. At least the starting front four.
I would, and I understand that for the short term, I would feel more comfortable adding a piece to improve the pass rush, to be the next in line, to maybe replace Eric Armstead, because you could let him go after June 1st.
That's true.
At least I feel like, look, it's not ideal that Walker Little starts, but he started a bunch of games, right? It's not like
good player. He's not a great player, but he's
not a great player,
yeah.
right? And you do have these other options, as Tony pointed out. Maybe Monheim pushes to, at least that competition is potentially there. You could say he could win a job. This guy could win a job. I don't see any of the defensive linemen that you could point to.
Anybody out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I guess I just feel a little bit better with Tone. All right, take a time out here. We'll come back. More Jaguar discussion straight ahead on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Lauren Brooks here, and if you're getting a tax refund this year, here's a great way to use it. Invest in new tires from Big Chief Tire. I've trusted the Parman family for years because they always take care of my car like it's their own. New tires make your ride safer and more reliable, and that's worth every penny. Schedule the best service in town at WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 and put your refund to work.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
It's Guggen time. You and a partner have a chance to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Open, April 27th at the Golf Club of Southampton. Text Guggen to 641-1010 to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Enjoy a cigar from Tobacco Cove. Check out the topdressing.com super vehicle. Get some great gold swag from liveforevergolf.com. Enjoy a Chick-fil-A breakfast and lunch from Dandy Foods, thanks to a head digital transformation and McHugh Health and Wellness.
Looking for golf that doesn't feel like golf? Welcome to Pine Royale, Callahan's new golf entertainment destination. Play a 9-hole par 3 course, compete in TrackMan-powered driving bays, and get ready for all-new 18-hole mini-golf coming soon. As the sun goes down, the course lights up. Add in great food, a full bar, and space to hang with the whole crew, and suddenly golf feels a whole lot more social. Search Pine Royale Callahan and come play today.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment's just having a gang all here as we head into the holiday weekend, 3 weeks out from the Jacksonville Jaguars' scheduled first pick in the NFL draft, and it'll get on us quickly. I'm going to be gone for a large portion of the next 2 weeks.
Are you?
Yeah, I got a little vacay time next week. Then I got some surgery scheduled, and it just is what it is. So I got I think 3 or 4 more shows before our media mock draft show, the Wednesday before the draft. So I leave that in the capable hands of Tony Smith and RJ Saunders to I can just stroll right in that Wednesday. That's the goal. And Tony, let's talk draft prospects. So today we're asking specifically at 56, guy you think is going to be available, who kind of tops your list of who you're coveting for the Jaguars. That may change by tomorrow. That's fine. Tony, give me a name that you're circling for the Jags at 56.
Yeah, thinking through it, I think I have a list of maybe 6 or 7 names that kind of popped to mind. If I had to figure out who would be the top name on that list for me at this point, it's probably Malachi Lawrence.
Okay. I don't think he gets there.
I don't think it's super likely that he gets there, but that would be the top of my list.
He might top my list too if I thought he was going to get to 56.
Good prospect.
But But okay, that's fine. Malachi Lawrence. I'm assuming R.J. Saunders is nodding right now. That was who he would have said as well. It's finding harder. It's harder and harder to find. A mock draft that has him getting like past pick 40-ish. Tommy, is there a guy for you?
Keeping with edge, I really like that Joshua Joseph out of Tennessee.
Okay.
That might be a little early for him, but I don't think by that many picks. He's
but in
smaller,
that range.
but he's fast. He's got long arms, and he's really explosive. And for me, I'm thinking like that edge is someone that's going to come off the bench. You need him when on passing downs, at least to start, and then
at least early in his career, pass rush.
I need my edges to be who they are, and this guy comes off the bench. We slide Trayvon in, stand him up, and let them two get to work on the one side.
Okay, I like that. I might have a lot of people responding with Jacob Rodriguez today, and it really stuck in my mind what Nick Baumgardner talked about with us, Tony. That Tony asked him from the Athletic, Tom, how late in this draft can you find a starting off-ball linebacker? He's like, late fourth.
Yeah.
Starter.
I saw that.
Now, that being said, if the Jags take a Jacob Rodriguez or an Anthony Hill or any linebacker there, I'm going to presume that they feel like he's ready to earn a starting job right out of the gates, and we need that, and that's fine with me. But I'm probably right now R. Mason Thomas out of Oklahoma. Similar in that, he's a guy he's not Trayvon Walker. Nobody's going to confuse him for that kind of physically imposing presence. He's a little bit smaller, but one thing in his scouting report, plays with maniacal energy and effort. He is supposedly, in the intangibly rich aspect of what you're looking for here in Jacksonville. And just one of those guys that doesn't fit the prototype physically, but you're picking at 56. You're not picking at 15.
No, right.
Yeah.
So interesting. We're all kind of on the edge rush.
Yeah, and I think linebacker is interesting to think about because I do think if your idea is you're going to get an off-ball stand-up linebacker, I think if that's what you're looking for, you don't have to do it at 56. I think you can wait. But I do think there are a couple of names that if they're there at 56, and one of them I really expect to be there at 56, and he'd have me really tempted, and that's Kyle Lewis. I love him.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's so flexible. You can play him at safety, linebacker, stand him up, let him rush, let him cover. Like he's so athletic that I love the idea of that. But if, say, Rodriguez and Lewis would have me tempted, but there's a bunch of guys that would tempt me maybe even more than Lewis, at that point at 56, I'm willing to wait, at the linebacker position specifically, especially if I'm drafting a big body. Right? Somebody on the defensive front or on the offensive line. The offensive line gets really complicated because there just isn't much there. Right? When you start looking at the draft rankings for these players, especially at tackle, say it is at tackle because we're talking a lot about the Cole Van Landen thing, right? You have a group of guys that are basically in the top 40, right? And then there's a gap to a couple of guys that they have ranked basically in the 60s. And these are both guys, Jennings Dunker and Caleb Tiernan are guys that they have ranked at that spot. But you read up on those guys and they say, they probably project more as guards in the NFL. Right? So it's not even like they're talking about these guys as featured guys at that spot. So it almost feels like the linebacker thing to me. If you're going to talk about the Jags needing to address offensive line, that if they're going to do it, there may not be value in doing it until you get to at least late day 2 and probably day 3 before they're really hunting in that kind of range when there's actually going to be value if they want to address something on the offensive line.
And if you are waiting a little bit longer, two guys that have interested me, and I'm no draft expert, I just got my opinion like anybody else. Austin Barber out of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I like him.
Who's got some versatility, Jacksonville guy, 6'6", 315. Obviously, you're drafting him as a tackle there. And Drew Shelton out of Penn State as well. Got a lot of positional versatility, 6'5", 306. I mean, there are guys like Keelan Rutledge, if you want a straight interior offensive lineman that are good chance to be available at 56.
I dig it. It would be depending on what else is available there when they actually go on. But if they went that direction, there's not many names that would be available, and they would take Rutledge, and I'd be like, what? Why?
Could they take a Keelan Rutledge out of Georgia Tech with an idea of playing him at guard and then maybe using Ezra Cleveland in the mix to play a little tackle.
He's athletic enough to play tackle,
right? At least
for sure.
This is presuming that, Cole Van Lanen's not going to hit the ground running in training camp here. A lot of different combinations, man.
I think out of the first 4 picks, you'll see an offensive lineman. I don't think 56,
I've been mocking. Me either. I've been mocking an offensive lineman. I'm with you right there. And
I think you're going to need just someone just in case, just in case you need them.
All right, we got a lot of picks. We'll see how they exercise them coming up 3 weeks from today. At least that's what's on the schedule for the Jaguars. One final round of thoughts here, and we'll look at some of your responses to the question of the day when we continue on Jaguars Today straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res. You might think because you mop off and your floors are clean, but they're actually collecting dirt not obvious to the eye. After a while, the hardwood or tile or LVP looks dull. This is where Zero Res can help. This month, 20% off all hard floor cleaning. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Call 287-5727 or go online at zeroresjacksonville.com. Make sure to ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res. This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this weekend at VyStar Ballpark. Join us tonight for fireworks and tomorrow at 6:35 for more fireworks and free Southpaw onesies to the first 2,000 fans through the main gate, courtesy of Miller Electric and Hyatt Regency Jacksonville Riverfront. Catch on the field and free face painting before the game on Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day at 2:05. Tickets start at just $5.
Jacksonville, you're on the clock. When your oil change is due, don't waste your pick sitting at a dealership. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, there's no appointment needed. Just pull in, stay in your car, and in 15 minutes, you're done. That's a smart pick. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 Quick Lube for customer service by Forbes, Valvoline is the easy choice. Make the right call. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your first-round pick for service.
When my dad tore his meniscus skiing, he was told that surgery was the only fix. But surgery meant giving up his hobbies, so we went to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. They specialize in non-invasive treatments that get you back to fighting shape. My dad got a platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, injection. It took a fraction of the time to heal, and now he's back to doing what he loves.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My Gate Rewards members, this deal is just for you. Right now, grab any 2 12-ounce Red Bulls and get 2 of your favorite roller grill items for just $1. When you need a boost, Gates got you. See store for details.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Your Mac In with Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010 XL.
All right, if you're eating corn dogs out at the Clay County Fair today, I am there to chronicle it and highlight your, what do they call that, gustatory power? Something like that?
Just keep chewing.
Just keep chewing. Don't choke on the corn dog.
That's right.
We don't need an ambulance coming in. Make sure you chew.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of chewing in these Major League Eating kind of situations.
I wonder how the cornbread part, with water.
Does it get like a hot dog bun? I wouldn't think it gets as easy, right? It's going to be a little bit tougher to go that route.
Yeah.
All right. So today we just went through some of our options for the question of the day. Which player might we have our eye on at 56? And again, I'm not of the mind that I'm locked in on this guy. Even if they take a guy, if he's available at the same position, I may question it, but I'm going to, after a 13-win season, think that for the most part they know what they're doing. Code Blue said Dennis Sutton, who the pass rusher, and he goes through some of the stats from him. Spin move, technique, quick get off, Tom, is what he's got. Let's see. Cobalt Blue gave us 4 guys that he has narrowed it down to.
Eyeballing.
Here, Christian Miller out of Georgia. Again, if you're going to go and Lee Hunter, if you're going the nose tackle route, sure. I just wonder where they put that. With Devon having one more year on his deal, is that a priority for them?
If you could get Lee Hunter in the 3rd round, that would be.
Oh, yeah,
I would jump on that.
I don't think you're going to get him at 56 based on most of the mocks.
Yep.
Jacob Rodriguez, Josiah Trotter also mentioned. That's the thing. There's so many linebackers.
Trotter's a middle backer, and he's really good. He's great against the run, but I don't know. I think we need something more than that.
It's one of the big things that I've learned doing the mock drafts when we do them on Monday is every time that I've gone linebacker with that pick at 56, every time I get somewhere in the 3rd round, and I'm like, oh.
There's a good linebacker sitting there, right? And I wonder if that's not the mock draft generators that are tricking us, though, right?
And it does feel like I'm at a point where my list for who I would like at linebacker of 56 needs to be 1 or 2 names, right, that I feel like are above the rest of this group to a point where it's like, I really like this, so that I don't feel like at 81 I'm going, I could have got the same thing.
Or Tony, instead of trading up from 56 to 32, whatever, to get into the 1st round, maybe you trade it from 81 to 70, right? And you can do that at a lesser cost and
if
pick
it's
up a guy.
For that one linebacker.
That's what I'm saying. If there's that guy who's sliding. Some of the names mentioned here, Jake Golday, Caleb Banks, obviously Malachi Lawrence, Grayson Halton of the defensive tackle, Anthony Hill. Everybody mostly focusing in on the front 7 on defense, which is understandable. Somebody replied a moment ago, basically somebody who can help protect Trevor Lawrence. And you're not going to go broke drafting good offensive line.
That Golday kid is like a hybrid edge off ball. He kind of built, it feels like. He's 6'4", like Devin, long, tall. Maybe can rush.
Out of Cincinnati.
Yep. So maybe later in the 3rd round.
Hey, man, it's there are going to be several guys that play the same position that are going to be close. You feel like going to be closely considered at 56. That's where the big money comes in. If you're James Gladstone, that's why they pay you the big bucks.
That's right.
Figure out which one's the right one. All right, that will wrap it up for us for the most part today on Jaguars Today. Look who's back. It's XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Big Sirs, what's going on, man?
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up? I like the ensemble, man. Where you got the bracelet and the necklace. I like that.
Yeah, the wifey got it.
All right, man. Looks good.
Sometimes you got to show her love about
over your Miami Legends shirt, of course. So, kind of ties it all together on a Friday here, Sirs. We're just reminiscing back to the good old days. Like nowadays, if you're an offensive lineman, you're trying to get 25-something million, and we're like, damn, Sirs, we thought was doing pretty good with that 5-year 17 back in the 90s. So
2.5 was good for me.
2.5 is good for anybody.
And it's like 10 times today. Isn't that crazy?
Exactly.
Just
that
to think that.
Yes.
What did we say the cap was back then? It was like 36?
36, 37.
36 million.
Right.
Like
back then.
in the mid-90s. 36. Now it's 301.
You think they got enough money?
Will we, in the next 10 years, do you think we'll see a $100 million a year player in the NFL?
A quarterback, absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
Because Dak got that 60 a few years ago now, and nobody's even matched it.
That's on pace. Dak's got 60 now.
Dak has 60, but he got it like 2 years ago. Since then, Trevor, all these guys, 55 has been the number for all the guys.
Yeah, he signed right after Trev and Tua got theirs, right? And then he's like, I want to,
I think, but the other guys
they
have
came in at
gotten
55.
deals since then, I think. I don't think Dak was the last big one. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know.
It's the highest paid, though.
I think he can find a way to get by on the 60. What's coming up today for you guys on primetime?
Well, we got Coach Campbell coming on.
Oh, cool.
12:15, and Ryan O'Halloran.
All right, excellent. O'Halloran's been making the rounds this week on 1010XL. Got tons of good stuff, man. You hear DeRocco yesterday say the buzz is it was an ACL for Van Lanen at the end of the year. So that look, it's not like the Jags don't know about that, but when we sit here and consider draft plans for this team, you wonder how much a priority making sure you're set at offensive tackle might be.
Yeah. What about moving the right tackle?
You can move. We talked about you can move Anton to left. You can still get by with Walker Little. I mean, it's not like he hasn't played a lot of games for you, but
that's going to up the ante. You move him to left.
No question about it.
No doubt.
But if he's the best option you got, let's go.
You got to roll with it.
Circe, have a great weekend,
Appreciate
man.
it, baby.
There you go. Leon Circe and the crew with XL Primetime coming up. Again, happy Easter weekend to everybody out there. It's Passover. I don't look happy. Whatever you celebrate.
Happy celebration.
You know what? Have a great, wonderful weekend. We'll be back Monday. Another mock draft session. Tone, I think we're going consensus rankings this week. Is what we will do for our mock draft on Monday. So for RJ Saunders, Tony Smith, and Tom McManus, I'm Mike Dempsey. We appreciate you listening to Jaguars Today. Primetime coming up next. If you're out at the Clay County Fair this afternoon, check me out with the hot dog or the corn dog eating contest at 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'll check in on the Frangie Show, give you some of the highlights of what's to come. That's later on today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.